Hello everyone, we're back with another episode of the Aberdeen series. I mean, this one, it's going to be our hardest games yet. I got to underline that right at the start. We're going to be playing Lazio in a European competition, which is not easy. I'll talk about how we got to this point already, and also we're going to be doing a few more videos this week, fingers crossed, so sorry for the delay in some of the recent episodes, but very excited for this one. So let's run the intro and get right into it. Hi everyone, Jake here. Welcome to this series. Hope you're all doing very well today. We've got plenty to cover in this episode. How we've gone about the start of our season, how we got to this point where we're playing Lazio in the European competition, as mentioned. We've also got a very important league game and some transfers as well that I need to catch you up on. So lots to get into today. Before we do though, as always, if you guys could smash the like button for me, I'll massively appreciate it. It really does help in the video's performance, and hit the subscribe button as well as we get close to 14,000 subscribers. Anyone who's watching at this point, hopefully I've done enough to earn that little click. So if you could do that, that would be great. And drop a comment down below to get involved. I'll respond to as many as I can. I'm still quite behind in the comments, but I am reading all of them. It's just getting around to responding to each one has got harder the more of you guys that have came on board on the channel, which is obviously a good thing and also a negative, but obviously it's good that the channel's growing. It means hopefully better content for you guys, and also makes me pretty happy as well. Any comment will help in the algorithm, so that'll be great. But with that being said, let's get into this season, shall we? I mean, you saw our transfer window already, haven't you? But a lot has happened since then. There was a few extra players added, the team's changed slightly, so I mean, let's get right into it. I can't remember who our second game is today, but we are playing Hearts in the league. There you go. They're sitting third. I believe at this time we're fourth or fifth, so it's a must-win, really, if we want to keep up that push. We've then got Rangers afterwards, so it's only going to get harder. But let's start with our form. So you saw us at the start of the season play Ross County, where we won 2-0. At least I think that's what you saw. We then had to play a qualification match against Judd Gardens FC, who we just scraped past thanks to 2 goals from Cafu and Ryan Duncan. That then got us closer to qualifying for the Conference League group stage, where we then were up against Austria Klagenfurt, whoever they are. We lost 2-1 at home, but then managed to win 4-2 away. That meant that we have actually made it into the Europa League group stage, where we played one match against Levski Sofia, and yeah, I'll talk all about where we are in that competition, but Lazio is our next team and the hardest team in the competition. But in terms of our league form, we won 2-0 against Ross County, as you know, drew to Hibs away, which isn't the worst result. We then played Motherwell and won 4-0 with 4 goals from Duke. That was in the cup. We then played St Mirren in the league and drew 1-1 after a 6-minute sending off, so not terrible. We then somehow got drew against Celtic twice in a row, at which point we lost both of them games, and that's to be expected in my opinion. We then beat Livingston though, lost to Hearts in the League Cup, and now we beat Queen's Park in the league. So overall, a bit of a mixed season, but you will see Duke is on fire, and he has taken over for me this year as a starting striker over Miofsky. He just seems a lot more deadly in the in-game engine. He's doing much more for me in terms of scoring goals, so we're very happy with him so far as our striker. Before we go into the transfers and play the matches, I'll just quickly show you where we are sitting. So we're 5th in the league currently, 1 point behind Livingston and 4 behind Hearts. If we can beat Hearts, we begin to close that gap. Celtic already beginning to run away with it at the top. We were knocked out in the Premier Sports Cup, as I said, but we are still in the Scottish Cup. And when it comes to the Europa League group, we've got FC20, Lazio and Levski Sofia, who we beat. Now, Twente actually beat Lazio in the first game, and Lazio are definitely the best side in our group, but my hope is if we can get above Levski Sofia, there's a chance we might take Twente's spot and maybe make it into the knockout rounds of the Conference League, which would be fantastic in terms of both finances and also making us feel good. But I think we have a very small chance of winning it. This Lazio game will be tough, so thankfully Twente have already beat them once, because I expect them to dominate the group. And also, to add a bit of fuel to the fire, Maurizio Sarri's came out before this game and said it's going to be an easy match, and it's a good time for his players to test themselves against an easier side in game fitness and whatnot. So we're going to shut his mouth. I mean, he's an ex-Chelsea manager, so I should be a little bit more thankful to him, but this is a virtual version of Maurizio Sarri, and I want to absolutely hand him a loss. But to help out with that, we brought in some players as mentioned, so I'll quickly go over them. We are currently negotiating a few transfers in players that we might potentially bring in. As I mentioned before, we've still got a fair bit in the transfer and wage budget to hopefully use on some good players, but I added a few extra players before the window was done. One is Lovro Zvanarek, I don't know how you pronounce it, but he's a Croatian youngster from Bayern Munich who is available on deadline day. I thought we'd add him because of his versatility. He's on loan, he's not costing us that much, and who knows, maybe we'll decide to sign him if all goes well. But so far, hasn't really impressed. He did score in the League Cup, I believe, if I'm getting it right. He definitely scored at some point, I'm sure. And he's actually played 6 times for Bayern with a 7 average match rating, 5 of which were starts. So he's clearly a player that has some talent, but for us, just not really working just yet. You can see the fee isn't a crazy fee at least, but he is into the side, as is, I decided on deadline day, Liam Scales, who we had on loan last year. Celtic were absolutely offering him out on deadline day for anything they could take. So far he's played a couple times for us and been very good. I just figured he adds depth at left back and also centre back too. He's a left-sided centre back, which we don't have in the team, and he's a very good ball player as well. So I thought it would be worth taking him off of Celtic's hands. We're not paying too much for him, and there's a very cheap optional future fee considering the player that we're looking at. So I might very well take that up at the end of the year, but we did bring him in. That was pretty much our transfer business done. Did we sell anyone after that? I mean, we loaned a few players out, but no, I don't think we actually made any other sales. Mason Hancock looks good on loan though. He's been winning Player of the Month in the Championship, so good for him. But yes, I think we did decent transfer business this year. All of these players are good. A lot of our new signings are playing very well. If we go by average rating, we've got Darnell Fisher doing very well for us, Cafu, who's been really good in the midfield, Jaden Richardson still doing well. In terms of our disappointments, I suppose Joris Gagnon is one of the main ones. If I go to the dynamic screen, we bought him in last year and he's now upset at the club. It was a few different things. One, criticising his training. I also fined him for a really poor performance against Celtic. He basically said, it's not my fault, I'm not playing with good enough players, so I can't play the way that I want. And the more I look at him, the more I'm thinking, I'd happily sell him, you know. We could get a decent fee for him. I don't think he's been great for us since coming in. I mean, last season he was fine. I'm probably giving him a bit of a harsh run, but I'm just starting to lose confidence in him. And right now, there's players I would choose to start over him 100% of the time. But yes, the team we've built is a pretty strong one now, I think. But that being said, it will be very hard to get past Lazio, a team that I formerly managed in a series. It's Coming Rome, it was called a few years ago. A great series name, in my opinion, where we tried to win the Champions League with Lazio. I think we did it in season 1 or maybe even season 2. But yes, this is the team we're going for here today. Keely Roos in goal, who I'm now actively looking to replace. I was hoping I could start to bed in this 16-year-old goalkeeper who has a lot of potential, Dane McMullen, but he is way far away from being ready yet. He's played a few times for us, and I mean, you can see by his average match rating, it's not gone very well. He's probably been at fault for 4 or 5 goals in the 2 games that he's played, so it's a bit unfortunate that he's clearly not ready, and at the same time, Keely Roos is fine, but I'm starting to think it might be time to try and replace him. So he's in goal with Darnell Fisher, Stewart and Andres Caro at the back, with Mansour on the left. Ramadani comes in because Diaz is currently out, not fully fit, as is Ross McCrory, so Connor Barron comes in there. Cafu stays on as Armezala, Ryan Duncan, Vinny on the left, and then Duke up front is the rest of our team. So it's a pretty strong one, but of course Lazio are a team that are a mega team, been in a Champions League in recent years. I'm sure they've still got some quality players. We're likely going to be coming up against Milinkovic-Savic. We are. It looks like a pretty much full side from Lazio there. Sarri really looking to batter us, and I would assume this isn't going to go great, but we're not going to change our tactical principles and play really defensively or anything like that. We're just going to play our football. We are at Lazio's ground as well, and it looks like it's filled out, so that's good to see. The Aberdeen fans coming in full force over here. A nice holiday over to Rome. But we'll see what our team can do. Who knows? Maybe they'll surprise us. But I would not hold out too much hope, ladies and gentlemen. But yes, let's get it underway, shall we? It's an early chance already, 5 minutes in for Lazio. A corner comes in, Roos makes a save, and we manage to clear, and it looks like we've held on for 5 minutes. Well done, everyone. There will be a time where I hope we can test ourselves against teams like these quite comfortably, but right now we're way off. I mean, if we were at Celtic or Rangers level, maybe in 3 or 4 years' time, who knows, maybe we could win this kind of game, but right now, we're not at the kind of level to win this kind of match. And here is Anderson, Andre Anderson, who I've never heard of. He goes through, he scores. It's 1-0 to Lazio after 5 minutes. It's first goal ever for him by the looks of it for Lazio. Apparently someone is to blame. Who was it? Is it going to be Ryan Duncan here? It was. I don't really know what he's trying. I can see the idea. Doesn't really work out though, and it's one Anderson playing through another who scores. It's 1-0 to Lazio after 5 minutes, and it might just very well be a long day here. They're set up in the same way we are, they've just got way better personnel. But is this a chance for us with Ryan Duncan playing the corner in? Sorry, Connor Barron, should I say. He floats it in, Oh, Anthony Stewart, should I say, nearly scores an equaliser for us there. From the corner, our first chance of the game, an XG of 0.01, but we're doing our job. We're trying to do something here. But Lazio are going to go again in the 18th minute. Could it be a second for them? Roos makes a good save, tips it over, and now we'll have to deal with the following corner. This could get ugly, but the real game where we'll test ourselves today is that match against Hearts that we've got coming up. But who knows? Like I say, I always do this in matches. 5 minutes in, I completely give up. But I can kind of see what's going to happen in this game already, I feel. I don't feel like it's going to be a fun watch for any Aberdeen fan. But look, we're here. We've already got 3 points on the board in the group stage. FC23 is the games that we need to win. Conor Barron, though, plays it in. Cafu with a header, and it's quite easily saved by the goalkeeper. For a second then, I thought Conor Barron might be shooting from the free kick, and that would be the highlight, but that wasn't to be. And it's going to be Lazio building it out without Fez of Leicester. From the back, Felipe Anderson to Lazzari, a brilliant right-back option. Back to Fez, SMS in the midfield. He tries to play it forward, but Darnell Fisher gets there. That's what we signed him for. Great bit of pace on that right-hand side, and we managed to recover. And this looks nice. We're playing the ball around. Who knows if it will be an attack for us or them, but Cafu, oh, Jesus Christ, what are we doing? Anderson's in again. He can tap it into an empty net, and I've got an issue with this here. Obviously, it's a mistake from Cafu to play Anderson in, and that is terrible. But what is the game doing? Because once he rounds Kelly Roos here, I don't know how you pronounce his name, I'll just call him Roos. Once he goes past Roos here, oh no, he's through. Why does Roos not run back here? Watch how long Anderson has on the ball. The shot's not even that great. Does Roos try and sprint back and get across? Or does he just casually moonwalk back towards his goal? He's casually moonwalking. And he's trying to save it outside of his 6-yard box. I do not know what's going on there. If he sprinted back, he could easily have got that ball. But they score twice now from 2 mistakes as we try and play it out the back. But like I say, we're not going to compromise the way we play for any team. This is the way we play. Eventually, when we get the right players in and we get to the level where we can have SMS and Alberto, Felipe Anderson running round, we'll be winning games against clubs like this. But right now, 2-0 isn't the worst result, to be honest. I mean, we're not playing well at all. But the fact that the assistant is telling me to tell them they've had a good game so far goes to show the club is not expected to do anything here. Even saying that, I'm going to go away from the assistant and say we've been terrible, because how can I sit there and praise that? I mean, like I say, it's expected, but I'm not going to sit there and say they've done really well for being 2-0 down and creating nothing. Overall, though, defensively, we've not been terrible. It's just been 2 mistakes. But if we can score 1 here, I'll be happy. Let's just keep the goal difference at a nice level, because you never know, it might end up coming down to that in this group stage to get into the knockouts. But we do still have a ball, and it's Conor Barron, who's getting some more game time recently. A young prospect that we're trying to bring in. I think he's Aberdeen homegrown as well. He ends up giving the ball away, but we win it back with Fisher, who looks like he's having a half-decent game from the eye test, but I should probably check his average match rating. And then I'm sure we'll find out that he's been playing terribly. But he is in here. He's behind the defence. He pulls it back to Cafu. Duncan. Oh, Duke. Oh, it's off the bar. We nearly score against Lazio. We come close, but it wasn't to be. And we're going to go again with Caro at the back. The highlight is over, but that's the best chance of the game we've had so far. Arguably should have finished it, but of course we're up against a strong defence. Former AC Milan captain Romagnoli at the back. It is a very good team. Here is Wout Fez though, playing it forward to Manuel Lazzari. Felipe Anderson, right-sided player, cutting in, plays it back to Fez. We're showing some good pressing here, I suppose. Everyone's running around, doing their bit, but it feels like they're about to play that killer ball through. And it is a shame that we are lacking some of our best players in Fabrizio Diaz, because he is a brilliant passer of the ball and can really unlock a team, even a high-level team like Lazio. But that's a great tackle from Duncan, getting stuck in. We're trying to win it back, but Lazio are kind of just playing it around us for fun. Darnell Fisher once again gets in and cuts it out, but he gives it away. It's another giveaway, and it is a penalty given away by Andres Caro. It looked a little harsh, I must say. Don't feel like that was a penalty. And it's wide in the end, so that's good. But again, it did come from a mistake at the back where someone tried to play the ball and lost it. But Darnell Fisher's on a 7.2, and he's doing very well. Here's Conor Barron with a long-range free kick, forcing the Lazio goalkeeper into a save. And you know what? Might be getting ahead of myself, but if we were playing at home here at Aberdeen Stadium, I reckon we might be able to get a result against them when it comes. Maybe it's a draw, maybe it's a win, who knows? But I think we could definitely give it a go at home. They haven't completely blown us away yet. It's not like they're pure dominating, having shots every 5 minutes. Definitely nothing like that. But here is Anthony Stewart going forward. I say going forward? No, he's gone all the way back to Roos in goal. I'm sure this highlight will be over any second now. But it's still going, and it's Cafu going forward. Finds Darnell Fisher, who's behind the defensive line. Can he pull it back? He's going to try. He finds Ryan Duncan. Cafu, it's a shot. It's in. We've scored. I don't know what noise I just made, but Wout Faes has knocked it into the back of the net. It's 2-1. And based on this second half, we might have a chance here, guys. I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but we might have a chance. 2-1. 60 minutes in. We've got subs to make. I mean, it was a bit of a dodgy goal, I will say. Maybe it was fine in the corner anyway, I'm not sure. Good strike from Cafu. Forces the error. And we're starting to get into the game a little bit more. I'm sure Lazio will shut us down here. Fez with a shot. It's blocked by Stewart over the bar and it goes out for a corner. I'm just trying to think of what kind of substitutions we could make. Maybe it's a job for Miofsky up top. I mean, he's fine for us when he plays, but realistically, Duke has been the man this year and Miofsky hasn't been performing as well. But I think it is time to make the changes. So first one will be Duke coming off for Miofsky. And then who have we got to play right side? Do we bring on Ben Arthur? Do we want to do that? I think we do. We'll bring on Hatim Ben Arthur. And supposedly Cafu's having a terrible game, despite the fact that I thought he was doing quite well. And we might bring on an injured Ross McCrory to play there. I think that's what we're going to do. I say he's injured, he's just slightly unfit. Mansour can come off for Jack McKenzie. I've decided I'm going to swap Ross McCrory into the box-to-box and let Connor Barron roam a bit further forward. And then actually, I'll replace Connor Barron with Dale Stephens. And we have then used all 5 subs in one go. We're going for it. We'll see what that does. A bit of fresh legs on the pitch. Can it create a goal for us, or are Lazio going to score straight away? Here's Cataldi. I'm sure it's going in the top right corner. He takes the free kick, and it does. You just know in FM, when you get a free kick like that and the camera's behind it, chances are it's going to go in. It's a good free kick. Nothing really we could do about that. Hopefully my subs didn't affect that. I don't think they did. A small wall, an easy shot. Roos can't get there. In off the bar. 3-1 Lazio, and that is likely game over. But I've got to say, we've done ourselves proud here. And I think Cataldi might be adding a second free kick. It's not Cataldi, it's Louis Alberto. Is he going to cross? No, he shoots. Roos makes a save. Probably should have done better in terms of holding that. And it does end up bouncing out, but we managed to deal with it. Miofsky's up there, but can't quite get to that. 20 minutes left, though, and there's another highlight with us on the ball in a pretty advanced position. We've lost it, but then Vinny wins it back. He's driving forward. Oh, wow. What a strike that was. I don't know where that was going. He was looking at some other goal, not the one that Lazio's goalkeeper was standing in, because that was nowhere near. But 12 minutes left. Let's score another one. I mean, we've got 1 XG. That's pretty impressive against Lazio, right? I mean, this is pretty much their full squad, so I can't be too disappointed with this at all. Come on, let's make it 3-2. What a performance. Let's keep that goal difference down. It's Miofsky with the header, and he's actually scored. It was a brilliant header as well, I must say. A little backwards flick, goalkeeper can't get there. We end up going 3-2 up. I'm going to throw us into very attacking. It doesn't really do anything, but we're going to try anyway. Fischer, good ball in. Miofsky, brilliant flick header. I've got to say, that's a fantastic effort on goal. 88 minutes, we make it 3-2. Not been a terrible performance at all. I mean, individual errors and a free kick. Yes, they missed a penalty, but I must say they've done way better than I thought we would. We're underdogs, but you gave it your best effort. I think that's exactly right. Well done to our Aberdeen players. They made us proud there. And Twente do not get the win against Levski Sofia, which is a great result for us. And if we can beat them when we play them, this could be looking quite good. We might actually have a chance of making it out. We're certainly not down and out so far after 2 games. We're doing our bit, and who knows, we might actually make it out of the Conference League group. But now we've got to focus on the Scottish League. We've got a match against Hearts, so let's get there, and then we'll get on with that match. Just to show you what's been going on with Joris Gagnon, he had another terrible performance, 6.4 in training. I've told him it was bad, and he goes, "Oh, stop telling me I'm bad." "Oh, what do you want me to do, Joris? You are terrible. You're not performing well. For that reason, you're not going to play." And I'll say, "I suppose you know better than me. Let's leave it at that." A bit of sarcasm in there, hopefully. And he's slightly worse on the morale. I am going to get rid of this man. I've decided me and him are done here. I'm trying to sign a better centre-back currently. I'm not happy with him. Liam Scales fits our team better anyway. So get out, Gagnon. You are going in January. I've made my mind up, even if it's for a small fee. But hopefully we can actually pull in a little bit for him, because technically he's a decent player in terms of his attributes. It's just his attitude isn't great. And maybe that's why he's the free agent that's been floating around for years, because no one wants to hang on to him. But anyway, enough about me dissing a virtual player. Let's get on to this match. Now, as mentioned, we are pretty close to Hearts in the league. We can't overtake them, but they did beat us in the cup recently, 3-2. That was with our rotated side, but we're hoping we can get our own back on them today. Liam Harvey as well, by the way, a young striker that we've sent out to Montrose, who are in the 3rd division in Scotland, I think, and he's doing really well. I'd want him to do well at this level because I do think he has a future, but 7 goals in 9 games is very impressive for an 18-year-old. Definitely a future Scottish First League player. Whether it's for us or we sell him on for a profit, I don't know, but he is doing really nice. This guy looks like a schoolboy. I mean, he looks about 4. The thing is, I play all of these games on my laptop where I don't have a face pack, and then I record on my computer. So I don't actually see their faces that often. So it is interesting to see what some of these people look like. But yes, let's pick our team for this Hearts match. Hopefully we can get Fabrizio Diaz and McClory back into the team. Here's a young player that my scouts found that was available for completely free, that looked half decent, so we decided to sign him. Even if he's terrible, he's a consistent player. He's already meant to be 2 stars or so. He'll go into our under-18s and hopefully develop very nicely there. Not too sure in his position, but he is now coming in to our Aberdeen side. So another transfer made, another player who can hopefully help the team, and we'll see what happens with him there. So now it's time to pick our side for this match. Hopefully the players we'd want to be fit are still fit. Let's have a look what we've got. Roos will be our goalkeeper. Darnell Fisher, slightly tired, but I think after his last performance, he has to play. Sorry, Jaden Richardson. We're definitely not playing Gagnon, so I'm dropping him. Liam Scales can play centre-back. Sevilic wants to be a star player, so he's going to have to play, but he needs to play better than he has been. Jack McKenzie can play left-back. When he has played, he has done really well for us. Diaz at the base of the midfield. Cafu and McCrory, then, I mean, I think I still want to play Duke. If Duke's fit, Duke's going to start, even if it is as the inverted winger. Miofsky, I mean, he did well off the bench, so we'll start him. Alan Forrest can play as the inside forward. Vinny's on the bench. We've got a good bunch of reserve players as well now. The team is coming along very nicely. But let's get into this match and hopefully get 3 points. I really do think we could do this. Hopefully you won't see 2 losses on camera. But either way, I'm just glad that that game against Lazio was not as bad as I thought. If you'd offered me 3-2, I would have said you were joking. So fair play to us there. But let's go. Can we beat Hearts in the league? I would really hope we can. Like I say, in the Cup, they beat us, but it was a very even game. Obviously, rotated sides for both teams as well, so it's hard to get a good judge of where we are. But I think we were better than them last season, I want to say, because I think it was Hibs, Rangers and Celtic above us. So hopefully we're not going to let any team like Hearts overtake us, because of course we have bigger ambitions than just being better than Hearts. We want to be one of the best sides in the league. And so far, possession's in our favour. We've had more shots, some decent XG, but nothing of note, no highlights. And here we have the first one. I tell the team I demand more, and McKenzie plays a good ball in. Forrest is on the byline. He plays it. It finds Duke. Duke with a volley. What a goal from Duke. He loves a volley shot, does this man. He scored, plays it into the corner. Good touch with his chest. Knocks it into the back of the net, and whether he's the inverted winger or the striker, he just seems to score at the minute. Miofsky was occupying most of the defence. Forrest's ball was a bit dodgy, but Duke does really well to bring that down and just bomb it into the bottom left corner. We're 1-0 up, we demand more, and instantly we get a goal out of it. Very, very good from us there. Fair play to Hearts. They're actually playing Connor Coventry, who I believe is a West Ham player in real life, is he? Yes, he is. They're playing him as a volante in the midfield, so clearly they've got some special tactics over there at Hearts, but it's not working for them right now. They haven't had any chances of note. We're dominating possession and the chances. We're 1-0 up. Go out there and give the fans their money's worth, and hopefully we can get close to overtaking them in the league. Savilic stands on the ball, plays it to Scales. We're inviting the press, as Brighton do in real life. I don't know if you've seen that video, but that was basically a video by Tifo where they said that Brighton step on the ball and just look like they're not doing anything to try and invite the opponents on. And Savilic seems to love it here. I'm not saying it's what I've asked him to do at all, but he seemed to be doing it, inviting the press so he can then play through it. Whether Football Manager is at that level to comprehend that kind of tactic, I don't know. But he's doing it there, and it seems to be working well because we've broken through with Darnell Fisher. Or at least I thought we had, because we've gone all the way back to the goalie. This is really nice football from Aberdeen. I'm sure if you're an Aberdeen fan, I've heard they're in a bit of disarray at the minute. We scored 2-0. I don't know how it's gone in. Duke's knocked it off of someone. It's gone in. We're 2-0 up. But yes, Aberdeen in real life are in absolute disarray. I'm sure if they were playing this kind of football, that their fans would be much happier. So I'm just saying, Aberdeen chairman, give me a call. I'll make my way down, and the next Alex Ferguson will be managing you, because, I mean, look at what I've done with this side. Transformed them into a beautiful ball-playing team who can put 2 goals past Hearts with ease. Definitely wasn't a mistake from them, and then an own goal. No. Brilliant football. They can't handle us. Don't forget to like the video if you are enjoying up until this point. Thank you to anyone who does. We are now going for a 3rd goal by the looks of it. Liam Scales stepping in, the ball-playing defender. Duke finds Miofsky in the box. It's not a bad finish, I'll be honest. It was a hard shot, and he very nearly glances it into that top left corner. Just misses out, but so far so good for us here. Diaz with the corner now, plays it in. It falls to Duke, who looks like the danger man this game. Diaz, though, always has that little bit of ability to put a good ball in, and he's played it all the way back to Savilic. And we're going to go again. Darnell Fisher, who looks like a brilliant signing so far. And he's still only like 28, 29, so he's got some years in his legs still. Here's Ross McCrory. Loves a long shot, but we find Jack McKenzie, who has impressed me this year, but I shouldn't have said that because he's just given it away. And now it's going to be Hearts who try and counter. It'll be their first real chance of the game if they do get forward. But Diaz steps in. We find Miofsky. Miofsky to Cafu. Cafu's in. Cafu shoots. Oh, he doesn't score. I thought we were 3-0 up there and I was celebrating already. No, it doesn't quite go in for us, but we are 2-0 up here. And we are looking very, very good. Dominating this match. Not even letting Hearts in with a chance currently. And here is McCrory on the edge of the box, following in from the corner. He goes backwards to McKenzie, and I imagine that'll be that. It is. But we're playing very good football here. Probably about time we make some changes, but the attacking football has been off the charts. But that must be said that we haven't let any chance of note on our goal. 0 XG for them, 1 shot, and 42% possession. It's been a complete performance, and hopefully we don't do anything stupid now. But my first job is to protect Fabrizio Diaz, so he's going to come off, and I'm not going to let Familia Castillo play there. I think instead I'll drop McCrory back, and then we'll bring on Dale Stevens. And Darnell Fisher also needs protecting, so let's drop McCrory back there. And you know what then? Go on then, Castillo. I've never played you as a deep line playmaker. I don't think you can do it. I've barely played you at all, but you're going to go there. You're the only person that supposedly can do that job. Cafu can come off for Zavranek. We've then still got 2 other changes we could potentially make. Might hang on to them for now. Liam Scales supposedly not having the best of game on a yellow card. Let's get Caro on instead. We'll save our other substitute for now, but it's good to see Alan Forrest having a good game on that inside forward position. After a couple of games, there was a news article that came up saying that it was a bad signing and fans were really disappointed with him. He then scored in the game following and has been good since, so I am happy with him, and he is a much better option than what we had last year, which was just Vinny on inside forward, and that was it. No one else could play there. But let's see if these subs disrupt our game or whether we can get another goal. It's Caro bringing it forward. Him and Diaz are the future of this team in terms of the young, talented players. Castillo with a nice ball forward. Zavranek with a cutting edge pass through the middle. Miofsky shapes up to shoot. Clark makes a big save. But that's good to see from Zavranek. Originally, I did sign him to be a rotation player in that Mezzala role to replace Leighton Clarkson. But so far, he's mainly played on the wing. So if he can prove to me he can play that midfield role, we will use him more often. Here's Duke in the box. It falls to Miofsky. Gets cleared away. It looks like this could potentially end 2-0. There's 10 minutes or so on the clock. We've had 2 XG, still not allowing Hearts to do anything at all this game. A really dominant performance. Everyone has performed at a very high level. Delighted with this. 2-0 win. We are coming for that top 3 spot this year. I'm telling you, we're going to knock Hibs out of that place. We're going to be in the top 3 with Rangers and Celtic. And then the next year after that, we're going to overtake one of them too. That's my plan. And then who knows? I mean, this Conference League, the more of a run we can go on here, the better the finances we can have. Just to show you, just for getting into the group stage of the Champions League, we got a big boost in terms of our finances. You can see it was about here. We were sitting on £1 million or so in the balance, and since then, it's just gone up and up with prize money over time. We are going to be spending some of this money soon, but I am delighted with the way this is going. Still nothing really in the debts and loans, which is great. A brilliant win. The team is performing really nicely, and then in terms of a development centre, we've got a lot of good young players still to come through. Gagnon, the only issue here. Thankfully, it hasn't caused much of an uproar at the club just yet, but I will try and get rid of him as soon as possible, I think, with a new signing on his way, potentially in the next episode, but I think I'll bring it back next for maybe our last match in the group stage, because I imagine that will mean quite a lot. Maybe Motherwell and Levski Sofia could be a good episode. I've got a few games to play until then, so fingers crossed we get some wins. If you have enjoyed, smash the like button, subscribe for more. Thank you all for all your support on the channel. The channel's growing nicely, and just to take a second in case anyone's interested, I said before, but I did go part-time at work probably 3 or 4 months ago now. I now do 3 days a week with 2 days being dedicated to YouTube. I'm able to do this because of this channel, mainly because of FM Scout, but this channel as well as my So Rare channel, and sponsorships and everything like that, and anyone who's ever watched or became a channel member, it really all helps. I must say, this experiment of going part-time has so far worked really well for me, and I want to thank you all for that, for making it even possible. So yeah, you're all legends. I'll shut up now, I'll let you go, and I'll see you next time. Thank you, and goodbye.